Dolls. I love dolls. I had a collection of them throughout elementary days. Barbie dolls, Bratz dolls, rag dolls. You name it, I have it. But the most memorable for me was a porcelain umbrella doll donned in a Victorian-style blue dress with gold laces. It had a solemn expression with lifelike sapphire eyes. It was, well, elegant for a doll. I never really played with it. It was just encased in an enameled glass case. All the excitement of having a porcelain doll diminished the first night me and my sister got it set up in our room. She decided we should prop it up on a small nightstand by the corner of the room. As we were setting up, my sister commented that the doll looked incredibly creepy. That its eyes followed her around. It's a porcelain doll, it's supposed to be lifelike. I laughed. Much to our surprise, the moment I said lifelike, we heard frantic scratches coming from the direction of the doll. Okay, must be the rats? My sister nervously smiled, somehow chalking it up to house rodents. We got scared and just left the doll there. We had dinner with everyone and my sister went on to tell everybody about what just happened with the doll. There's like 4 of us who sleep in that room, but none of us wanted to move the doll back to its box. A cousin of ours who was much older said that she would hide it tomorrow morning and urged everyone to sleep and to not worry about it, that it was probably just a rat. I slept on the floor because my cousin and elder sister slept on the beds. When every light was out and I was ready to sleep, I heard scurrying and gnawing noises all around me. There was a crack, like something biting off flesh and bones. And my other cousin heard it too. And she said, "Must be the rats." So, yeah, apparently all the noise in this house were the rats. Back to the porcelain doll. A week passed and somehow it's still displayed in the corner. We either forgot to put it away or are just too busy to worry about a damn doll. We sure regretted not putting it away after that particular evening. Me, my sister, and our 2 cousins decided to play a card game that night. The power was out, our phones weren't charged, and there's really nothing to do when there's a blackout. We were just being loud and happy when there was a sudden loud shh. We thought that it could be my mom since she hates loud noises. Our rooms were adjacent to each other, so it's no question that they would be hearing all the noise we were making. I went there to apologize, but to my surprise, both of them were already fast asleep. I went back to our room and unconsciously looked towards the doll. "They're both asleep," I said. They went quiet and simultaneously looked at the doll. Well, after the shushing incident, we decided that it would be better if we just sleep it off. And I decided to sleep on the floor again because it'll be a lot cooler. Sometime in the evening, we kept hearing something screeching, almost like glass scraping against glass. Our older cousin complained to us, to which we all retorted that we were keeping quiet. The dreadful noise kept on for what felt like ages, and finally just stopped. I finally fell asleep. The next day, I was awakened by the frantic murmurs inside the room. Irritated, I sat up and asked them why they were making a racket. "Look at your doll," my sister said. I groggily stood up and tried to focus my eyes. After a few seconds, my sight came back to me, and I stood there in shock and horror as I stared at my porcelain doll and realized that its head was turned around. And then it hit me. "Oh my God," I gasped. "That noise last night." It was porcelain against porcelain, scraping against each other as that doll's head turned over and over and over for who knows how many times. None of us wanted to touch it, and decided maybe we should ask my father to move the doll back to its box. We all went downstairs and explained everything to my parents. They weren't believing us, of course. Then we heard something shattering from upstairs. We all hurried up to a room. The doll's case broke, and the doll's head was back to its position. My father packed the doll up and put it on a larger box along with other old stuff, and all the other dolls I ever owned. Needless to say, I am now terrified of dolls. Thank you for listening. If you are interested in these kinds of stuff, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. And if you have creepy stories you want to share, send them to ghastlycollection@gmail.com. Until next time, take care and stay frightened.